I'll probably say we broke even from year one. Yeah, because when we started talking to advertisers, there were not too many. Online was new. There were not too many platforms. So we're lucky to be able to pitch to advertisers that were in niche. You know, we're lucky to, even though we're not in niche, we're like an entertainment hub, but you know, and we're lucky to show them. Every time we had meetings, we used to show them both our Jetpack and our Google Analytics. You know, we're not the type of blogs that would send reports. We would show you as it is. You know, we've done a lot of things. We partner with third-party people for advert reports, for example, so that you know it's not doctored. You know, because a lot of, for me, if transparency is key for every business you do. If the minute an advertiser sees that you're not transparent, or he senses that you're doctoring those reports, it will drop you. You know, and it's not about the ideal model for success. It's not about new business. New business helps, but it's about retaining that business. You know, if you retain business, your business will keep on growing, and there'll be word of mouth. One day, someone from an agency will leave and go to a new agency. Even if you've never done business with a new agency, the guy will say, I like that platform, and he'll bring you along. So that's what actually helped us. A lot of the people that we knew in all those old agencies and companies, they moved on to bigger things, but they always carry us along. They carry us with them. There's something called the Lean Startup, you know, and we practice that. We used WordPress, contrary to what people, a lot of novices and the common people. A WordPress theme is about $50. It will not break you, you know. And at that point in time, we were using shared hosting. Because remember I said we started going from 300 to 1,000. So at that point in time, shared hosting was, I think, $40 a year. That can't, you know, and it was 3 of us that were writing. So, yeah, exactly. So when you look at that cost, we kept it really, really tight. We didn't have an office. We registered the company, obviously. So that's why I say yeah, because all those costs, we got them back, you know. And we knew the right time to expand. We knew the right time to, okay, this thing is getting choked up. Let's look at our finances. Okay, we need to get one more person. There was a point in time that the business stagnated, as in revenues. It wasn't growing as we wanted, you know. And we had to take a hard decision to look at salaries and say, let's cut off people, you know. So, and we didn't do that with the highest earners. We did that with the least performers. So, we believe in keeping. It's better to make 8 people happy than to owe 40 people, because you are saying we have 40 staff, you know. So every point in time, we look at our revenues. We look at, is it making sense? Is this where we want to be? You know, and we're at that comfortable zone whereby we know that even with the advent of Instagram, Facebook stories, we've been able to grow businesses even around those. You know, we do social posts, we do, and even with our Facebook page, I think we have about 130,000, which were organically grown. So, you know, yes, it's harder for blogs to come out now, because for you to get 130 people on Facebook, you have to probably run Facebook ads. But at that point in time, it was more like work hard, understand the algorithms, tweak it, play with it, and you will grow. So it's speed to market and original content. You know, if you check a story on 360 or if you Google it, you probably see, because plagiarism is really, really, and it's a sad thing. You know, it's a sad reality that we are in this business. People just post the press release they get from either agency. So sometimes if we know we're the first, we use it as it is. If we're not the first, we'll write it in our own words. So we're very, very big on plagiarism. once in a while we get writers that still do it, and we want them. Osage from Pulse is my very good friend. You know, we've been friends for years. He hits me up and says, "Oh, they posted one of our stories on your site. They didn't give credit." And I said, "Please give me 5 minutes. I'll deal with it." And I dealt with it. You know, because we have to. You know, sometimes we get new writers. You know, so it's like educating them the whole process, the 360 way, the 360 culture. So for me, I never get tired of teaching. I never get tired of correcting, because you know, if you don't correct someone and the guy gets another job, and I say, "So what were they teaching at 360 now?" I don't want to hear something like that. You know, is for us, we like to build and know that no matter where you go, you'll be proud that yes, I learned that from 360. So everyone had a role to play. So I'll not attribute it to only my success. It was a team effort. And I think if I wasn't there, there would have probably been someone else that would have stepped in. It might have been slower, it could have been faster. You know, no one ever knows. You know, is like you said, is an if question. I'm just happy that I had the strength of my other partners to rely on. You know, I played a major role, they played major roles. You know, would 360 Knobs have been successful if nobody wasn't there? I don't know. You know, so it's a if-else question. You know, replication is yes. I mean, we already know the model that works. So if we want to replicate the same success, we'll be able to do it. We'll be able to, but it takes time. You know, so the first question is, oh yeah, do you have that time? Would your wife allow you to dedicate 18 hours? Would your current job, because I'm still in paid employment, allow you to do such? You know, so it's very, very possible, but you have to look at time. It might take longer. It might take a shorter time because internet is cheaper, is more available. Mobile, I mean smartphones. Thanks to mobile, everyone browses. You know, if you check it, everyone gets their news from even microblogs now. So you know, to replicate, it would have probably been if I was to do it now, it would be a different business model. I would probably make more use of. I'll probably try and do what Instant Blog Nigeria is doing. You know, for me, I don't think their traffic is heavy on their website, but it's really, really heavy on Instagram. So, you know, there's a danger to that. What happens if Instagram dies, for example? But that will probably be the fastest route to gaining traction. I'll probably I'll study them. Number one, I'm not really giving them much detail. You know, I read stories of them. I would not actually copy them, but I'll see what the last places are. You know, because the idea would be you want to steal traffic from them. You know, which is basically what it is. I would make better use of Instagram. I mean, Instagram allows you to post 10 images. So, you know, you could actually do a blog story and put a lot of pictures in just one post. You know, I'll probably run ads more because, again, remember, you're trying to steal traffic from Instagram blog media. But I would say they're doing a perfectly good job. They blinded everyone, you know, so they came unexpectedly, and that's a success story for me as well, because no one saw them coming. I don't even think they spent much, you know. So, you know, for me, they use their time well. They're consistent, which are the successful growths for me. You know, I think it's just to have the ability to learn. You know, don't think you can't do anything. But first of all, you must be creative and innovative. I grew up collecting. I still collect comics, for example. I love cartoons. So when my daughter's watching cartoons, I'm not upset. I'm not saying change it to CNN. I'll watch it with her. You know. And that's what feeds creativity. You know, that's what boosts. I watch a lot of movies. You know, so you must know when it's time to. And I read a lot of books. Now that I don't even have time to read books, I use Audible. So So audiobooks, I listen as I'm driving. So even when I was driving here, I was listening to a book. So you must always be ready to learn. That's the first thing. You must be consistent. You must build more skill sets. For me now, I think the youth have it easier. They have platforms like EDX, Coursera. So you can learn Java in a week. You can learn, when I was growing up, I had to use front page help to learn. Then maybe WebMonkey came on board, so I had to, but it was hard. It was much harder. So, but the thing is that just be ready to learn, be ready to be innovative. If there are some things you can't do by yourself, get a partner that can do that thing. Don't be scared of partnerships, I think that's one of the most successful ingredients we had at 360 Labs. The ability to rely on each other's strengths and weaknesses. Because a lot of people believe that they should own 100% of one thing, which is not the way to go. Most successful companies are built on partnerships. So for me, that's one of the driving forces. Do not overdo it. Face your ideas, Again, I'll refer to the Lean Startup methodology. Do something called an MVP, minimum viable product. So instead of building an app that will cost you $100,000, build a prototype that is like $10,000 to test the market. See that, is there a need for this app? The key to viral success is consistency. Sometimes it doesn't happen overnight. The quickest way, I've known apps that they've spent money on ads, and the moment they stop running ads, it tanks. So the easiest way for anything to go viral is word of mouth. Until you can build an app whereby one guy shows his friend and his friend picks it and shows 10 other friends, and it won't grow. If you build an app that you now have to rely on only one person at a time, then it's better for you to turn into a B2B business than a B2C. So for B2C, it's all about numbers, it's all about, but if you now want to build a music service app, you need deep pockets, because that space is totally different. You have to educate the users. Payment is still a problem, data is still an issue. You have to get licensing for all the content you have. You have to sustain it for years. It's a long-term business, so it's not something that you think that in 2 years you are cashing out. No, it might take you 5 years. So you have to be in it. Content creation is one of the biggest. Content creation, data mining is still very, very big. So how you can analyze data. Gaming could be big if it's done right, because gaming is one of the hottest. There are two I'm personally exploring, so I can say that. But I will, as soon as I launch it, you'll be the first to know, and you definitely.
That's why we listen to
Yes.
At least you're already starting on them, so it's not as
No, but it's easy to penetrate. No, but I can share one because it doesn't matter whoever enters it. Your idea will always be your idea. One of the biggest opportunities I see is actually the dating service, but no one is doing it right. So, hey, whoever is watching this interview, I just gave you a gold mine idea. If you do it before me, good luck. When I say dating, I'm not saying a flirting sites. I'm not talking about hookup sites. Proper dating where you get success stories of husband meeting wife. So sites like Match.com. That's probably the easiest one. It's such a $1 billion industry in America. People don't know. And in Africa, I think there are only like one or two. And I think they're even in South Africa. It's, again, you need deep pockets for it, because it's hard to convince a woman to take it seriously. That's one day ridicule me, because of the African culture. But, more and more people are open to the idea of online dating. So it has to be done well. It has to be done right. So financial independence is when you can basically afford the basic needs. When you're content in the space you're in. It's good to desire more, but once you can eat, clothe yourself and provide shelter, and even have dependents relying on you, you're financially independent. Once you can decide when, so that the difference between being comfortable as well. So comfortable is when you decide, hey, I need a holiday. Whether you're saving up for it or you have the money to pay, then you're comfortable. But being independent financially is that you can afford the necessities of life. You can and do a bit more. Because this economy is really hard. There's no need to sugarcoat it. It's one of the hardest economies. I've seen friends with successful businesses go down the drain. I've seen people I've looked up to, that I know that are actually rich, tell me that they're relocating. They've started applications to Canada. And it shocks me that, so what's going to happen? If he's running away and I see him as rich, but I believe that the opportunities in Nigeria are huge, I'll borrow this from, it's from a war film, I think Lord of War, Nicolas Cage. But in chaos, there's money, A lot of people that do ammunitions, that sell ammunitions say that, but, even for project management, right? Projects are successful in chaotic environments. You have to always find a solution to a problem. So there are loads of problems. I just mentioned payments. You have people like Finn doing amazing things with Flutterwave. You have Ezra doing amazing things with Paystack. We still haven't solved payment problems. When you look at markets like China, you see what they've done. The population is way more than ours, and yet they've been able to monetize it. I know for a fact that the biggest music service in the world is Tencent Music. And NetEase Music is also in the top 5, and their profit margins is not even from paid subscribers. It's more or less ads and all that. So, the moment we realize that we can be innovative, from China, they have an app called Flash Share. It's so popular among the youths, whereby you can share things without data. And basically what they latched on was on Apple's technology of not iMessage, the other one, and it's AirDrop. Okay, so it depends, like for example, if the landed property was in Ikoyi and it was being sold by someone that was desperate that said, give me 80 million for this thing, and you know that the value is like 300, that's an opportunity to buff. I'll pick that over others. The other two, again, it's case by case. I'd rather do all three because that's the kind of person I am. But so for me, I believe in investing. I've invested in a lot of quietly. I've been quietly investing in a lot of ideas, and the trick with that is that if someone pitches to me and immediately is pinching me that why didn't I think of that idea, I'm going to invest. I've been investing in artists. A lot of artists are creatives first, so they don't understand the business angle. So I try to help them drive the business processes. And I'm the type that I don't try to take food from their mouth, and I'm as truthful as they come. So I don't tell you that I have 100 million. I'll tell you that I only have 800k to invest. If you believe in my drive and my ability to help in career, then let's do this. Some of the other things I've I've invested in is one is about to launch actually. So it's yeah, I can say it here. So it's called Quiz.ng. Basically, it's like a gaming platform, and it's so addictive. I've tested it. I've tested it with focus groups. It's funny because I can't even think of one. You know why? Because even when I make a mistake, I count it as an experience. There are two ways to learn from experiences. One is by making that mistake yourself or learning from others. Even when there are times whereby I'll give you the latest scenario. I saw one of my friends was selling a silver chain. I was selling silver, nothing but, because you're dark, I'm dark, right? So silver looks good on dark people. So it was 8K5, so I bought it. And my daughter said she went to wear it. As she wore it, so later, I didn't forget what was on her. And 2 hours later, she just said she went to move it, and she just. So, I just said, hi, 8K, just like that. But, next time I was wearing a chain, and she asked, can I wear it? I said no. So I learned from it. So, and the only reason I can remember that is because it happened like a few months ago. So for me, every mistake I make is an experience for me. Probably getting married to the love of my life. Okay, so we met. I had a friend called Remy Sani, and he had a younger sister called Bimbo. So I think I was in SS2 at that time. She was in SS1. So and they were going to QC. So and I was close to the family. We were like family friends. So I now started telling Remy's younger sister Bimbo that hooked me up, and she was like, no, that's me, I'm a playboy. I was like, are you for real? I'm really young with that. How can I say it? So when I entered into I went to Greater Sakokat. We kind of lost touch. So when she had finished school, I started hitting on her, and she used to give me the longest show for days, but slowly she came around. She realized that, because she was all about, she went to study, she realized that I was a bit serious, so I went to be serious, So she looked around all my friends that I had at that point. All of them were in serious relationships. So she knew that, okay, I even had serious minded friends. So, and so we started dating. And we didn't even think, because we started dating at a very young age. We started dating, I think, she'll kill me if I can get the date wrong. Well, I think it was January 1st, 1997. And, no, it was January 98. And we dated for 10 years before we married. So, so when she went to UNEC, I had to go and visit her. It was, I couldn't run away from it, So it was, we became friends first, So even when I'm trying to mentor girls, about finding the right one, one of the things I tell them is funny, but it's what my wife did. I'm sorry, guys, I have to say this. I hope you still love me, but I tell ladies that they should hold out as much as they can. That first become friends, that when I was growing up, the moment it happens with a girl, that's all I think about, But if you become friends first, the guy is not waiting for you to come to the house and just take off your clothes. He's trying to build that relationship. He's trying to get to know you. So, and that's exactly what my wife did to me. She held out as long as possible, and we became friends. We were really, really close. She understands. There was a point in time at 360. Basically, on the bed was my wife, my laptop, and me. And sometimes she would joke that, who are you married to? And sometimes she would come to the living room and see me knelt over asleep on my laptop. She'd always wake me up. So she understood how driven, and she was always my support system. Sometimes I'll tell her, oh, they said that P Square are releasing a new song at 2 a.m. Can you wake me up? And so even if my alarm is ringing and I'm not waking, she'll tap me and say, wake up, you have work to do. Or Noble has been calling, so she's actually part of 360 does, even though she doesn't have shares, so even times when Noble and Tony had to come and crash on her place, she didn't see any issue in that. She'll just make sure there's plenty of food for us to eat all through the night, so I'll say that's why it's one of my biggest accomplishments, because she supports me, she enables me, which is what IT does. So a day in my life turns from now. I expect my kids to wake me up and say, Daddy, I have the latest idea that will revolutionize the world, and I'll say, let me listen to it and invest in it. I would believe that I'll have a lot of more investments. I believe I'll have shares in Google, which is what I hope. So one of the things I want to accomplish is either have shares in Google or have Google buy a company that I own. So either works for me, it's fine. But that's what I see in 10 years' time. I won't say book, because a lot of books inspire me, but two of the biggest movies or documentaries that inspired me was, the first one was Defiant Ones. It was a story on Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine. So he went through their careers up to the point they met and decided to do Beats by Dre, how Dr. Dre became the first black billionaire, in music. The Apple deal, how it went through, how they did Beats by Dre. It was such an amazing story for me. Another book that shaped I love that book, Once in a while, once I come across it, I actually still read it. Is Chicken Soup for the Souls. One of the stories from, I think, I was like 16 when I read the story, was there was this girl that was walking on the beach, and she was picking, obviously a heavy tide had come in and I swept a lot of fish onto the sand, and there was a couple passing and they were seeing this girl picking up fish and throwing into the sea, and the couple says, why are you doing that there's really no hope, that there's so much fish? And she picks up this one fish and says, for this fish it makes a difference, and she throws it back into the sea. So just even the littlest, the tiniest of efforts you make, it goes a long way, so it's just things that are very, very touchy. There's a film called Pay It Forward, Oswald, I forgot his name, where he was saying, do a good deed and let's, I don't want anything in return, just do pay forward, So, and those are the things that I hope keeps on modeling me. One step at a time, you learn, Even I'll give you a story. CCM, my MD, Tunde Onodele, okay, sorry. My MD, Tunde Onodele, was we had met in USC. He was the MD of USC Dairies. So when he went to CCM, I didn't know he was starting up CCM, by the way. It was just coincidental. We bumped again in the interview panel, but I remember one story. I'm sure he can't remember it. So there was this. Our office was at Musa, so there was this drug addict, a woman, and the very first time I come across her, maybe a month ago, I gave her money because she begged. I thought she was just a destitute, and so my friends around said, "This woman go use her money, go take drugs." So afterwards, I almost used to chase her away. So one day I was with my MD and she came begging, and me, I always said, "Please leave us." And my MD now just said, "No way." And I started talking to her, and I was saying that. So she started crying as I was talking to her. She actually had a family. She had gotten addicted to drugs through her friends. And she had 2 kids. Her husband had abandoned her. And I think just by where we're talking outside, there was someone making Indomie, and he paid for 1 week worth of Indomie that she should just be going there to eat. They won't give her money because she used it for drugs. But anytime she's hungry, she should just go there to eat. And, it kind of sends shivers down my spine you see, so the way people react are different, and I never mentioned it to him, so I hope he listens, but, it kind of also changed my mindset that sometimes it's not even about money. Sometimes you have to actually analyze every situation. So I work hard, play hard. I'm a gamer, so I have a PS4. It's gathering dust now, but thanks to the power of mobile computing, I play games on my phone. So every random time I have, there's a game I'm addicted to. It's called Marvel Contest of Champions, where every Marvel is a combat game. I love music, so obviously. I love dancing. I'm not going to do shaku shaku for you, so don't ask. I love socializing, so it's I unwind differently, sometimes I don't even know how I have time to do what I do. Right now I'm doing a course in music business at Berkeley School of Music, and even that one is choking me. Sometimes I have to sleep at 3 a.m. and my wife is saying, don't kill yourself. Remember, we have people that love you. I'm like, I know, but it has to be done. You don't want me to be doing this when I'm 60. So God in His infinite wisdom gave us 24 hours a day, and it's how best you make use of that 24 hours that matters. Time is never going to be enough, and that's one of the advices I give love youths. Procrastination is the whole time, so don't postpone what you can do today till tomorrow. Hello everyone, my name is Oye Akideinde. I'm hanging out with Isaac on Top Niger Stories. Please do visit. Don't just watch only my own story, watch all the other stories. They've interviewed a lot of my friends from Marking Day to True Day, so please check them out.